Hi, ladies and gentle people. How are you all doing today? I'm doing just fine as a frog here. And I'm here in your front room just because I'm going to make some yo-yos. I about used up all my yo-yos, so I need to make me some more. And so I was just going to show you my process in making yo-yos. Like, for instance, one thing I like to, when I make yo-yos, I like to have um, like fabrics with smaller prints on them, like smaller prints or solids, And larger prints is good too. This one's good, and this one's good. And so I'm gonna and to make my circles, because making the circles is like the most obnoxious part of making the yo-yos. So I want my yo-yos to average about maybe 2 inches across. So I'm gonna so I cut my fabric to be about 4 inches across, but then I don't even worry that it's exactly that. And so I just tear me a strip here, like thusly, and then I have to fold this other piece back up like this. Got fold it back up, and this is pretty nice and soft. And then see, so I got that one about 4 inches. So then what I do is I just go down that 4 inch strip and I cut there and then I cut there, and each one of them is about 4 inches. I don't measure nothing. I'm telling you, measuring is just too much trouble. And then I just tear each one of them where I just put that little nip in there. I just tear each one. And it might be square and maybe it's not square, but it's a small chunk nonetheless. And so then I go through each one and I pull the extra string off. And because I don't need that extra string. Now these ones, my last bunch I had to iron them because they was kind of rankled. And so we'll just go ahead and do that, pull them strings. And see, then I just make me a little stack of pretty little stack there. And then I end up with this pile of threads. But then I'll probably use these threads after a wee bit and make a book cover. Because see, here I tore the orange ones, the pink ones, and these other ones. And those are the threads from those, see? So I'll save them. And then I'll go with this one here. And the same thing, this one I'll probably have to iron because it's a little crinkled. So I'll only just do one little strip of that. I can go back and get some more if I so wish. And then I'll just cut them. And they're not even square. I just sort of cut everything, I'm telling you. And so now I feel like if you go and just cut square circles and you go to circle and you cut a circle and cut a, that's just too much work. And I'm just not into too much work. I'm just not into any work, actually. I think all life should be playtime. Okay, so then I got a few of them little squares there. We'll unstring them and put them threads over there. And I'll go ahead and press these ones because these ones are a little bit crinkled. And so We want them to be just perfectly lovely. And so we'll do that. Okay, now that's enough. Turn this thing off. And then, wait a minute, let me see. So this one here shows it. Look at that. That's right at 4 inches square. Although they're not all that much. This one, these ones here, I was making these. These ones are a little bit bigger, see? These are about 2.5 inch square. So that means I must have had about a 2.5 inch in diameter. So it must have been double that. So that must have been a 5 inch square that I did them on. Oh, that one's got a needle stuck in it, so we won't bother with that. Okay, let's move this out the way. Now, so then I've got all these little kind of squares. I've got 4 different colors here. Maybe I got 5. No, I got 4. No, I got 5. No, I got 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can count to 5. Okay, but anyway. So then what I do to these little kind of squares is I fold them in quarters. Once I fold them in quarters, then I just take and I round that corner off. That's all I do with that. And then I have I got sort of a circle then. Sort of a circle. I might need to just fix that one up a little bit. That one was, I was showing off, and of course when you show off, nothing goes right. So I'm going to be a little bit nicer with this one and go. Now that looks like a circle, see? And so if you take each one of them little squares now, and my squares are not all the same. Some are a little bit bigger than the others, and some are a little bit smaller than the others. And so I don't see a problem with that. Because one of the things that I like to do with my yo-yos is to layer them. If I'm making flowers with them, then I like to have one smaller layered onto a bigger. And now these little scraps here, then those too can be used, what I call in my tulle sandwiches. You take a piece of fabric and you just sprinkle like confetti these little scraps. You just sprinkle it like confetti on a piece of fabric, cover it with tulle, and then just kind of quilt it on. And then you've made like a nice little journal cover or such as that, which now that I'm making my little, I've been making my packages that I've been selling of my junk journal collections. If I have like make up some of these covers like that, I can put those in there too, you know. So then I've got a reason to make all of those covers, and I don't have to have a plan to finish them. So and so that gives me almost a purpose to make these covers, because my junk journal collections, if you go on my channel, you'll see that I got it kind of pinned to the top, that one video that shows kind of what the collection is. And I had this morning, I sent off 2 more collections, and one of the collections I sent off to a lady that it's her 3rd collection. She's so excited with them that she has ordered 3 of my junk journal collections, and they continually change because it's whatever I find. And like right now I've been trying to go through like one of my craft rooms, and I keep finding different things, and as I'm going through, and I think, oh, that would go good in a junk journal collection, and oh, that would go good. And so and then I've been like, I make tags and stuff here and there without any purpose for them. I just make them, and so then as I'm collecting them up, I found so many that I started making for no apparent reason, and so then I just throw them suckers in there, whatever I find, that I've worked on, maybe some pages and whatnot. What am I doing here? Losing my mind. Okay, but anyhow, that's all of those I'll cut right this very second. But see, when I get all these little scribbles like this, what did I hear somebody call them? Gizzards? Gizzards? I don't know. Somebody added a neat name for all them scraps. I think they called them gizzards, but I don't think that's what they're called, but that might have been. But I thought that was pretty cool. Where was that piece with the needle in it? Look at that needle. I need this needle. Thank you, needle. And oh, son of a gun, it's already got threaded and everything. Okay, so anyway, now see, because I know how to make these little yo-yos, I just assume I'm always the last one to know things. So I always assume everybody can do it. And I am the last one that learns it. And so, but apparently I'm not always right. So now I don't worry about the raw edge when I do a yo-yo. I leave my raw edges because I always cover mine up with a button, the gathered side. Now some people don't, and so they hem as they go, which now to hem as you go, you just kind of turn it under as you're stitching, and you're just doing a running stitch all the way around, and you just keep turning that very edge under. See how I'm just turning that underneath as I'm stitching. Now this is how some people do. I don't really do it this way because I think it's too much work. I'm doing this one though just to kind of show off, and this is going to make a much smaller one too because I am turning about 1/4 of an inch under there. And then I just keep that going, just like I know what I'm doing, see? But once I do another one with just the raw edge, then you'll see what the difference. You'll see the difference. Pull that through there. I just get a lot of stitches in before I pull it through. And but I just keep going all the way through. And I make the stitches pretty small, probably 1/4 of an inch or so. And just a running stitch. Just as simple as a running stitch all the way until you get all the way around. And you can do a lot of thinking while you're doing this. If you got thinking to do, just go ahead and do your thinking while you're doing this. You can think anything you want. Think about the way of the world. Think about what will happen if the hurricane knocks your house apart. There's things to think about. And yeah, there's hurricanes out there, but I'm not letting them bother me. Not yet, anyway. They're not coming into my backyard. So, but I do worry about all the other people that it might go into their backyard. And so, okay, so see, I've went all the way around now. And so I just kind of pull that thread through. I leave a little bit at the end here. I always tie a knot, and I always use a double thread too, just because it's a little stronger. And so I use a double thread with a knot on the end so it doesn't pull it all the way, so it doesn't just pull all the way through. Then you have to learn all them curse words and stuff. So then I pull it tight, but not real tight. And then I put it in a knot. I put a little nice knot in there that'll hold that in tightly, sort of, kind of like that. And then I snip off that end. One thing about doing yo-yos is you don't have to thread your needle very often because you don't use much thread. So now there is a finished one that I hemmed. But see, I always, don't think I've ever used a I don't think I've ever used a yo-yo without putting a button in the middle. Where's my little bag? Oh, I was going to show you my little bag, but I don't see it right now. It's not right here in front of my face. Okay. But see, what I usually do for my own is I first make sure that knot is at the end. So there is nothing more frustrating than to get all the way through and then you pull your thread and it pulls it all the way completely out. So I put a knot in the end. Like I say, I'll use a double thread just because I am pulling on it and I want it to be sturdy. But I don't worry about, now see, I'm just going to do this one without the hem. And it doesn't matter either if you're stitching from the top side of the fabric or the underside of the fabric. That doesn't matter either. And so, and if you don't do the hem on it, it really goes a lot faster. These go a lot faster. You can make like a jillion in one in just a few minutes, or maybe one, but maybe 9, I don't know. My friend is going to come over in a couple days and we're going to just make yo-yos. We are going to be doing a yo-yo marathon. And because I love using yo-yos in different art pieces or something that I do, textile arts. And they're almost like doing a mixed media art project, but you just use all threads and fabrics and things just like you would do art. I mean, like paint and stuff. So now see how quickly that one went? I'm now to the end of that circle, and I'll just pull that thread and pull it tight, but not real tight. If you pull it real tight, then you have a lump in the middle, and you don't really want a lump in the middle. So you want to pull it too, so it's closed, but don't like pull it real tight like it's like in a ponytail or something. So and then when you get that see, then when it's done it kind of looks like this, like a little mess. Well, then just get that middle in the middle. Just kind of work your fabrics around until your middle is in the middle, till you get all that what you just gathered up in the middle. And really then when you look at the two of them, there's not that much difference in if I hemmed it or if I did not. But see, now, like here, this one's bigger. I can take that one and put a smaller one on top of there, and then take a big fancy beautiful button like this here, cat button. Look at that. Oh, why did I turn it that way? See that, how cute that is? If I was just to use that yo-yo doubled up. And look at this cat button. Actually, I got that cat button from, I'm such a spoiled brat. There's a little dog. So cute these buttons are. I have got to find where she got them and order me some more because I love them. Love them, love them, love them. And so she gave me these 3. There's another puppy right there. Just love them. And then once you put them together like that, isn't that a pretty embellishment? I want to make some of these. I mean, and then even if you just put a plain button in the middle, it's still beautiful. Still beautiful, still beautiful. More beautiful than ever. But you can make these up quickly. And like I say, to make the circles, you don't have to sit there and cut a whole circle. You don't have to draw it first. Just have your square of fabric. Just have your square of fabric. fold it in quarters. Just fold it in quarters. And then on those raw edges, just circle around. And then once you open it, you might say, "Ooh, that looks a little bit too square," or something. Well, then just maybe maybe I want to just, well, you can. I might just have made it where it's just, I don't know. But if it's not exactly circled, if it's not exactly a circle, if it's not exactly round, it's not going to mess up your yo-yo. Because if your yo-yo is not exactly round, it is still beautiful. It's still gorgeous. It's still whatever you want it to be, it'll be perfect. It'll be perfect. And these things, I mean, layered, whatever, they're just beautiful. So many things that you can do with these yo-yos. And so that's all I wanted to show you today. So this is a little short video. And I'm still in the singing mood. Papa's outside. He can't sing with me. Okay. So oh, look at here. Red Roses for a Blue Lady. Do I remember that tune? I want some red roses for a blue lady. Mr. Florist, take my order, please. We had a silly quarrel the other day. Hope these pretty flowers chase her blues away. Wrap up some red roses for a blue lady. Send them to the sweetest gal in town, and if they do the trick, I'll hurry back to pick the best white orchid for her wedding gown. Isn't that pretty? Oh, then here we got blue, blue, blue. Okay, but anyhow, that's your song. You didn't get a long one today. Thank God for that, right? I remember when Bobby Vinton sang that one. Bobby Vinton. Loved it. Okay, I ask God to watch over you every step you take, every move you make, and bring you back to the next video, safe and sound and happy and healthy and humble and well fed and all that good stuff, energetic, good stuff. And then I'll be here with you. Yes, I will. Okay, God bless you all. God bless you all. God bless you all. God bless, and thank you so much for watching my video.